Realms of Ancient War, or RAW for short, is a refreshingly straightforward game. There are hordes of enemies to kill, and you've got the weapons to kill them with. It's a case of an army against one person, and you just know who's going to come out on top with this game. RAW's great problem is that it's a Diablo clone at a time where the consoles and PCs are literally inundated with high quality Diablo clones. There's Diablo 3 itself, and then Torchlight 2 on the PC, and on the consoles there's games like Sacred 2 and Dungeon Siege 3. RAW's lack of finesse, even by this genre's standards, lets it down from the outset. For starters, there is no block or dodge button. This immediately makes the game feel a little clunky and heavy. The rogue class, especially, doesn't feel nearly as agile as she should, because the game's structure demands that she stand and deliver, rather than actively dodge out of reach of the enemies. The warrior class, however, is spectacular fun to play around with. Stand and deliver is what warriors do best, and he has a skill tree that is uniquely suited to ploughing through large hordes of enemies. And large hordes of enemies is what RAW does best. At times there will be dozens of them at screen at once, and the game keeps the downtime between those hordes to a minimum for rest and recover. Because the action is so relentless, it's easy to ignore just how linear the level design is, and how the plot is not worth following. While it's a wildly entertaining game in short bursts, it also means that it doesn't take long with RAW for fatigue to set in while you're playing the game. You're doing the same thing over and over, and there's only so long that can last before you need to go and play something else. The game itself is actually reasonably long, enough so that it'll last quite a few of the short sessions you'll likely play it in. There's a little too much repetition in enemy design though, so this is a game I actually would have preferred to be a little shorter and sharper. On the plus side, it really does look great. Environments are not interactive, but they are detailed, and there are some nice little environmental effects that give the impression that they're not completely static. The camera angle is zoomed back quite far, and it's not possible to change it in-game, so there will be the occasional moment where it's hard to see what's going on. But that camera angle also allows players to see great hordes of enemies descending on them, so it's a fair trade-off. When it gets going, RAW is an exciting game. Swatting aside 10, 15 or 20 enemies as though they're mere distractions is empowering, and the name of the game is appropriate. This game is RAW. It might however be a touch too limited for people who aren't big fans of their hack and slash games.